Western civilization tells a story about itself. It is a story of reason, progress, and enlightenment. It speaks of Greek philosophy and Roman law. But there is another, much older story. This story is hidden in the shadows of history. It begins not in libraries, but in dark forests and cold caves. For tens of thousands of years, the people of Europe had a deep relationship with unseen forces. These forces are known in Islam as the Jinn. Early Europeans did not call them Jinn. They called them spirits, gods, or fairies. But the relationship was the same. It was a transaction. It was a bargain for power and protection. The morality that grew from these ancient bargains was fundamentally different from the morality taught by the prophets of God. In Islam, morality comes from Allah. It is based on absolute principles like justice, mercy, and truth. In contrast, the European relationship with the Jinn was always a negotiation. It was a patron-client relationship. The Jinn were seen as powerful beings who could grant favors. They were not guides to moral purity. They were brokers of power. The Norse and Germanic gods like Odin and Loki were revered for their cunning, trickery, and strength in battle. They were not models of humility or compassion. They were reflections of the values needed to survive in a harsh world: aggression, opportunism, and a will to dominate. Many believe that the arrival of Christianity in Europe broke this ancient chain. But this is not what happened. Instead of Europe becoming truly Christian, Christianity became European. The old ways were not abandoned. They were simply rebranded. The pagan gods and spirits were replaced by saints. People prayed to these saints for specific favors, just as they had made offerings to the old spirits. The drinking of blood and eating of flesh was symbolically enacted in the Catholic Mass. Even the so-called Age of Enlightenment did not break the cycle. As Europe became more secular, the names for the unseen forces changed again. People now place their faith in technology and the market to solve their problems and give them an edge. If you want to understand the modern Western soul, look at its horror movies. For many people around the world, the Western obsession with horror is honestly kind of bizarre and disturbing. The answer is that horror films are not just entertainment. They are, in a way, a religious ceremony. The classic horror movie setup: a group of people isolated in a cabin in the woods, angering a malevolent force, is really a parable of European history. When people watch these movies, they're not really rooting for the victims. They're there to witness the carnage. The evil entity is almost never truly defeated. It's either satisfied, moves on to another victim, or possesses the hero. The evil is presented as the true power in the story. This glorification of evil power is a direct echo of the ancient bargain. To understand the West, you must understand this history. You must see that its so-called civilization is built on a 30,000-year-old foundation of dealing with the Jinn. This is not an indictment. It is a diagnosis. For Muslims, especially those living in the West, this understanding is crucial for survival. You must recognize that you are dealing with a culture whose instincts were shaped by Shaitan. You must never be naive. When they speak of morals, principles, or law, do not assume they mean what you mean. The solution is not to be found within the Western framework. The only true cure is to cut off from that root and graft onto a new one. The only path to genuine morality and peace is submission to the creator of the seen and the unseen, not to his creation. Understanding this history is not just an academic exercise. It is a matter of profound importance for everyone. For Muslims, it is a reminder to hold fast to the rope of Allah, to be wise and discerning, and to be a source of true light and guidance in a world that has been lost in darkness for a very, very long time.